Simon Peter, often referred to simply as Peter, is rich with spiritual lessons and historical details. Below is a multifaceted overview that delves into Peter's background, major scriptural events, and the significance he holds within the beliefs of Jehovah's Witnesses. This overview should take around 4 to 5 minutes to read in total, providing a broader appreciation of how JW.org portrays Peter's life and ministry. Early life and background, name and family. Peter was originally known by the Hebrew name Simon, or Simeon. Jesus gave him the name Cephas, in Aramaic, or Peter, in Greek, which means a rock, or a stone. According to JW.org, this naming reflected the kind of stable, rock-like qualities that Peter would display in his later ministry. Peter had a brother, Andrew, who was also a disciple of Jesus. They were both from the city of Bethsaida, near the Sea of Galilee. John chapter 1 verse 44. Occupation. By trade, Peter was a fisherman. Jehovah's Witnesses often note how Jesus called Peter and Andrew directly from their fishing nets, telling them that he would make them fishers of men. Matthew chapter 4 verses 18 to 20. This dramatic shift from commercial fishing to spiritual fishing underscores Peter's willingness to leave his livelihood behind to follow Jesus wholeheartedly. Marriage. Peter was married. The Gospels mention his mother-in-law being miraculously healed by Jesus. Matthew chapter 8 verses 14, 15. Jehovah's Witnesses emphasize that Peter's marital status shows that having a family life did not preclude individuals from faithfully serving God, something consistent with the fact that many first-century Christians were married. Role as an apostle, inner circle. Along with James and John, Peter was part of Jesus' innermost circle of apostles. Jehovah's Witnesses see this as a reflection of both Peter's zeal and the trust Jesus placed in him. Peter was present at significant events such as the transfiguration of Jesus, Mark chapter 9 verses 2 to 4, and Jesus' prayer in the Garden of Gethsemane, Mark chapter 14 verses 32 to 34. Key confession of faith. One of Peter's most noted acts was his declaration that Jesus was the Christ, the Son of the living God, Matthew chapter 16 verse 16. On JW.org, this confession is identified as a vital moment in recognizing Jesus' true identity. Instead of regarding Peter himself as the rock upon which the church was built, as some Christian traditions do, Jehovah's Witnesses clarify that it is Peter's confession, pointing to Jesus as the Messiah, that represents the foundation of the Christian congregation. Leadership and teaching responsibilities. After Jesus' resurrection, Peter was pivotal in organizing the preaching work among early Christians. The book of Acts shows him taking the initiative on multiple occasions, for instance, addressing the crowd at Pentecost, Acts chapter 2 verses 14 to 36, performing miracles, Acts chapter 3 verses 1 to 10, and defending the faith before Jewish authorities, Acts chapter 4 verses 5 to 12. JW.org highlights how Peter exhibited natural leadership but also learned humility through counsel and correction. Spiritual growth and imperfections, zeal and mistakes. Peter was known for his impulsive and zealous nature. Stories such as Peter attempting to walk on water, Matthew chapter 14 verses 28, 29, and later sinking when his faith wavered illustrate both his enthusiasm and his human shortcomings. Jehovah's Witnesses use these accounts to show how sincere Christians can stumble but can always regain their footing through renewed trust in God and Christ. Denying Jesus. Perhaps the most famous failure of Peter was his threefold denial of Jesus on the night of Jesus' arrest. Matthew chapter 26 verses 69 to 75. On JW.org, this event is often cited to emphasize that even loyal believers can give in to fear and weakness. Peter's deep remorse and subsequent forgiveness by the resurrected Jesus are powerful lessons about Jehovah's mercy and Jesus' compassion. John chapter 21 verses 15 to 17. Progress over time. Peter's life exemplifies spiritual progress. Jehovah's Witnesses stress that Peter did not remain defined by his mistakes. Instead, by learning from them, he grew stronger in faith. He went on to be a prominent leader in the early Christian congregation, preaching fearlessly despite persecution. Ministry and later life. Pioneer of the Gentile mission. Significantly, Peter was instrumental in welcoming non-Jews, Gentiles, into the Christian congregation. Acts chapter 10 details Peter's vision and his meeting with the Roman centurion Cornelius, an event that Jehovah's Witnesses teach set a precedent for the worldwide spread of Christianity. Peter's acceptance of Gentiles underscores that early Christians were inclusive, breaking barriers of nationality. Epistles of Peter. 2 New Testament letters bear Peter's name, known as 1st and 2nd Peter. Jehovah's Witnesses frequently quote from these epistles to highlight themes like endurance under persecution, 1 Peter chapter 1 verses 6, 7, and the importance of moral conduct, 2 Peter chapter 3 verses 11 to 13. From the perspective of JW.org, these letters provide encouragement and counsel directly relevant to modern-day Christians. Humility and service. In 1 Peter chapter 5 verses 1 to 3, Peter encourages fellow elders to shepherd the flock of God willingly and eagerly, not lording it over others. Jehovah's Witnesses view this counsel as reflecting Peter's own transformation, from someone who once argued about who was the greatest, Luke chapter 22 verse 20.